Thank you for joining, and welcome to Let's Zwift. We are in for an absolutely grueling day. Starting out with the long but steady 9.4 kilometer Epic KOM, it is going to drain the legs. Immediately after, the road kicks up with the radio tower climb, short at 1.1k but averaging 13.7%. This is where only the strong will survive. If that isn't enough, the riders go through the valley and back up to end the day on the Epic KOM. Let's get into the race and find out who is ready to suffer. My plan is to stick with the group up the first Epic KOM and see how I am feeling for the beast that is a radio tower. If I have the legs, I will try and stick near the top riders and hope to find a group to work with on the descent and flats. If all goes according to plan, the time gap will be small at the base of the summit finish. Coming into the KOM start banner, the pace has been slow and I am feeling strong. I start the climb near the front and immediately kick above 400 watts. I know the start of this climb well, and riders tend to push hard, so I'm focused on getting to the bridge with the lead group. Looks like the pace is high. Riders are pushing close to 7 watts per kilogram, but I remain well positioned. My first goal is complete. I have made it to the bridge and only a select group remains. With about 1,000 meters of climbing left, the group calms down and sets a steady pace. During the flatter bridge part and next little kick, I am able to sit in comfortably and keep my heart rate under control. The select group is down to about 10 or 11 riders, and the group begins playing a game of cat and mouse, looking around thinking who will be the first to attack. This plays into my strategy, attempting to finish the climb with a heart rate under 180, as I know if I push too hard, too early, I will blow up. He's going! At 10.3k, Lark decides to make his move.
But this is an absolute hammer blow.
I have to lift the pace above 400 watts, near 6 watts per kilogram, just to jump onto the wheel. This has put me in an orange zone above 180 heart rate, but I know reprieve is coming. The last bit of the epic is just ahead, and then it's the dreaded radio tower.
And an attack on the left-hand side.
McKean's goes. He's going, and gaps are starting to form. Breyer and Stoiznik respond, and I immediately jump on their wheel. I know there is less than a minute of suffering on the epic left, so I dig deep, but I'm starting to enter the red zone. I am now getting concerned as the next climb maxes out at 16%, and my heart rate is already at 187. I'm going to make the selection at the KOM banner, but know the rest of the day will be hard. I hope I can recover in this little flat section. Then my strategy is just to suffer for 5 more minutes. Oh, and right away Breyer is going to try and make everyone else hurt. Immediately he kicked to 7, almost 8 watts per kilogram. I try and respond, but am only able to muster 5.5 watts per kilogram. I decide I must ride at my own pace and hope I can find a group to work with. There they go. Time gaps are beginning to increase. I'm sitting in 8th position with only 4 riders left immediately behind me. The favorites for today must be thinking they need to reduce the group as much as possible on the steepest climb of the day. I only have 2 riders behind me now, and no, I can't lose touch with this group. Oh, I'm going all out to get back onto Lund's wheel. The shoulders are really rocking. I'm using every portion of my body trying to produce as much power as possible. And this isn't a good sign. At 184 heart rate, I can't have much left. But I just get back on his wheel, and I'm going to do everything I can to hold it for the rest of this climb. But already at 184 beats a minute, that's going to be asking a lot. Another attack. Lund kicks again. I try and respond. And no, I just can't up the tempo enough. Lund's wheel is gone. I can't lose any more wheels. I'm hurting. I'm really hurting at this point. There's still a long way to go. Although less than 600 meters left, the gradient will remain above 13%. Absolutely full gas day. My heart rate is nearing 183 now. With 200 meters,
It's crumbling.
I see I have another Larek 14 seconds behind me, and know if I am able to make it to the top, I can work with him later on. Here's the summit. I am relieved to finally get a break. After I crest this climb, just watch in the top left how much my watts drop. I have almost nothing left to put out. On the descent, I try and take on some gels and water as I know there is still the summit finish on the Epic KOM. Behind me, Larek has formed a group with Ellis and Morales, and I decide to wait for them, and as a group of 4, we will be stronger on the flat section. At 18 kilometers, the 3 behind me make the catch, and now we can work together. Luckily, I got a bit of a rest as I waited for them. The bar chart shows I have been in zone 1 through 3 for the last 8 minutes. I will go to the front and try and put it in an injection of speed. Until the final climb, my strategy is to take a few pulls to limit the time gap to the group ahead, which is currently at about 1 minute 30 seconds.
If you're enjoying this video, give a like and subscribe.
Please feel free to give a like below. It really does help YouTube find other viewers like yourself that may be interested. Here we go. It's going to be absolutely grueling as our group of 4 attacks the final climb. Right away it kicks to about 10%, and I try and put in a surge of power as I move to the front. However, my GoPro camera battery has died almost an hour into the race. Ellis must still have legs left as he begins to pace the group near 5 watts per kilogram. Oh, this is a brutal pace. Ellis ups it up to 5.5 watts per kilogram as it's about to kick to 10%. I'm suffering just trying to hang on. I survive to the beginning of the bridge and hope the day ends soon. But Ellis doesn't let up here. He keeps the pace high and only 3 remain in the group. I've been riding second wheel, but I'm beginning to let a gap open up. I'm hoping Lorik behind me is suffering just as much as I am, as we still have 7.5k to go. What a brutal day. Here he goes. Ellis is kicking again. Am I going to be able to respond? No! A gap's opening. My 8th place is slipping away. I am thinking I can't keep this 5.0 watt per kilogram pace up anymore and have to ride at my own tempo. Even though the wheel has been lost, I am thinking just keep a strong pace and just maybe Ellis has attacked too early. Watch the rider behind me, Lorik, as he is clutching to my tempo. I notice a slight time gap. I keep my tempo constant at 4.5 watts per kilogram though. However, I'm going to notice another small gap and I up the tempo. Can I secure 9th place here? And Lorik is cracking. He's cracking. The pace is too high. I have at least secured 9th place as the time gap extends. And I can focus on the final 6.7 kilometers. I am riding solo now and try to pace myself against Ellis in front of me. He is slowly expanding the time gap as the groups are scattered all over the road now. With just over 5k to go, my major threat is a strong B rider, Morales. He has masterfully paced himself after being dropped at the start of the climb, and he has closed the gap and it is now only 13 seconds. After I notice him, I get reinvigorated with energy and continue pushing. My goal is to expand the time gap just a bit and hope he begins thinking that this is too painful and give up the chase. Going through the tunnel, I've expanded my gap to 17 seconds on him. I give it one last kick as a small downhill approaches and think I have solidified my spot. Only 3 kilometers of suffering left. Checking some time gaps, Ellis has managed to open up about 55 seconds. In addition, I have 3 other riders who are less than 2 minutes up the road. I have effectively limited any huge time losses. Coming into the last K, I have one last effort to give, but I am hurting after already climbing over 1,000 meters on the day. I give it my all, managing to keep my watts around 330. The time gap on Morales has increased to over 20 seconds. In the last 100 meters, I can see the KOM banner and this grueling day with the Epic KOM summited twice and the radio tower climb are about to end. I can't kick anymore and just cruise through the finish line. I will cross in 9th position overall. What a day in the Chasing Femmes series.